So after we are done with the calculation of t-test on the paper, now it is time to perform t-test for independent means in Microsoft Excel. So here we are going to see that how it is done. So for that purpose, first of all, you have to put your observations in an Excel sheet. So in this case, I've taken the example of the mean height of students from two groups, the morning group and the evening group. So after you're done with putting the observations into the Excel sheet, so you can see that there are different tabs in the Excel. So you have to press the data analysis function tab. And you will have a pop-up window appearing, and this window has got the list of statistical tests that can be done under the data analysis function of Microsoft Excel. So just scroll down to see the types of the t-tests that are available. So we have three types of the t-test available in this one. T-test for the paired two sample for means, t-test for two sample assuming equal variances, and t-test for two samples assuming unequal variances. Now you have to choose your desired test, which in this case is the t-test for two sample assuming equal variances. So after you have selected your test, press the OK button. So you have a new window popped up, and this window is for the input of your values or input of your observations. So you can see that it has got different boxes in it. So first of all, you have to select the values of sample number 1, and for that purpose you have to place your cursor into the box number 1, and then you have to select the range of the observations in sample number 1. So you can see that the cell numbers that contain these observations, they will appear into this box. And then you are going to select the values of sample number 2, and for that purpose you are going to place your cursor into this box, and then you are going to select the observations for the sample number 2. So here you have the cell numbers appearing in the box number 2 for the sample number 2. Now you have to press the output range button. So this output range is for the display of your output, that where you want to have your output. So you have to press this button to see and to select that where do you want to have your output. So whether you want your output into the same sheet, into a separate sheet, or into a separate workbook. So if you want to have your output into the same sheet, then you have to place your cursor here, and if you want to have your output into a new sheet, then you have to press this one, new worksheet button. And if you want to have your output into a different workbook, then you have to press this button for the new workbook. So this is how you do it. Now we want the output into the same sheet, so therefore we place the cursor in this box, and then we select the cell in which we want to have our output. So you can see that that cell number D2 is appearing into this box. So it means that this is the place where we want to have our output. Now press the OK button to get the output. And here is the output. Now after we are done with expanding the cells of the output, we are going to see our results in detail. And we can see that first of all we have the mean values of the two samples, and then we have variances of the two samples, then we have the number of observations of the two samples, then we have the pooled variance here. So what is the pooled variance? It is the estimation of common variance for different populations with equal variances. So this is the pooled variance that we have for this observation. So right now we don't need pooled variance for the analysis, but the Microsoft Excel is going to give you this output. And this is the hypothetical mean difference. So remember what hypothesis we had? So we had the null hypothesis, in which we assumed no difference. So our hypothesized mean difference is obviously 0 in this case. And this is the degree of freedom, 32. And this is the t-test statistic, 1.288. So this is our calculated value of t. And then we have the probability for the one-tailed test, which is 0.10. And then we have the critical value for the one-tailed test, which is 1.6939. And then we have the probability value for the two-tailed test, and we have the critical value for the two-tailed test, which is 2.0369. So you see, because our alternate hypothesis was two-tailed, so therefore we are not interested into the results of the one-tail, we are only interested in the results of the two-tail hypothesis. So you can see that our calculated value is less than the table value of 2.0369, so we are going to accept the null hypothesis. And what is the advantage of using these softwares for the statistical analysis is that you actually don't have to compare the calculated and the tabled value. You get the probability as such. So in this case, we have the two-tailed probability value given here, which is 0.20. So this is the actual probability of null hypothesis to be true. So the probability of null hypothesis to be true is 0.2067, which is obviously greater than 0.05. Therefore, we are going to accept the null hypothesis. So it is going to give us the actual value of the p. Actual value of the p for the significance or for the acceptance or the rejection of the t, of the null hypothesis. So this is the output that we have. Now you can see that these are the same results as we had calculated. So the results that we calculated on paper was the t-value 1.288. This is the same value as given here. And the degree of freedom that we calculated was 32, and this is same as given in this output. And then the table value that we got from the t-distribution table was 2.0369, and you can see that this is the same critical value which is given here, 2.0369. So you're getting the same results in Microsoft Excel that you did through your paperwork by applying the t-test formula, and the result is same, that you have got your null hypothesis accepted. So this is how we do the t-test analysis in Microsoft Excel. So I think this is clear for now. In the next lecture, we are going to see that how the paired t-test, which is the t-test for the dependent means, is executed.